This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important updates to share with you. A new bill is heading to Congress to avoid a disaster. With the railroad strike going on, it looks like this could affect all parts of our economy and destroy a lot. Bernie Sanders says that the current agreement that Congress is pushing forward is not good enough. I'll play the video clip from Bernie Sanders and how this will affect everybody in our country. When it comes to stimulus news, direct payment of $1,500 arriving in just 2 weeks, and the $500 monthly checks going out. I'll let you know the latest up with that. And the $1,000 checks are going to arrive in just 24 hours. And I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel for more daily, straight-to-the-point updates on matters that financially matter to you. So what's going on here? Transitory inflation talk is back, but economists say higher prices are here to stay. So stocks bounced when October's U.S. Consumer Price Index came in below expectations earlier this month as investors began to bet on an easing of the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest rate hikes. While most economists expect a significant general decline in headline inflation rates for 2023, many are doubtful that this will herald a fundamental inflationary trend. So basically what's going on here is because of some relatively recent good economic news, inflation rate is going down, still really high, but it's slowly going down. A lot of people saying now it's transitory, meaning that it is not going to stay for a while. But almost all the economists and everyone is saying is that it is going to stay for a while. So we're getting some back and forth going on there. Regardless, a lot of people are suffering and a lot of people are struggling due to the high prices, and things are about to get a lot worse. So Biden urges Congress to pass legislation to avert nationwide railroad strike. The president warned lawmakers that failing to approve the tentative labor agreement could devastate the economy just weeks before Christmas. This is really tough timing because railroads, I don't think people realize how important they are. They connect a lot of goods across the entire country. They're really important. And on Monday, President Biden the railroad workers are about to strike, not striking yet, but they want their demands met. If you're curious what they are, I'll let you know what they are. But President Biden says a labor deal needs to be approved, and the House, Nancy Pelosi and Kevin McCarthy saying today that there is going to be a bill potentially voted on for this agreement to be made so that the railroad workers will not strike, because it will be really bad. But that bill may not be good enough for a lot of people, including Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders says tentative rail agreement doesn't go far enough. Bernie Sanders calls on Congress to avoid the strike and do much better. So the strike would begin on December 9th if management and labor negotiators do not agree on a deal. So the clock is ticking. They're trying to get things done today. What Bernie Sanders said here is, I would like to see management come to the table and treat their workers with respect. If they don't, then Congress has got to act to make sure that there is guaranteed sick leave for these workers. So yeah, things are getting really intense there. Take a look at what Bernie Sanders has to say about it.
President of the United States and top congressional leaders in both parties are now working to avert what they say would be an economic disaster for the country. A strike by the more than 100,000 workers on American railroads. Yesterday, Joe Biden called for Congress to immediately pass legislation which would impose a tentative agreement that some of the rail worker unions have already rejected. A deal which would leave paid sick leave, which they've been asking for a while, off the table. Biden, in defending his decision, says, quote, "Let me be clear, a rail shutdown would devastate our economy. Without freight rail, many U.S. industries would shut down. My economic advisors report that as many as 765,000 Americans, many union workers themselves, could be put out of work in the first 2 weeks alone. Communities could lose access to chemicals necessary to ensure clean drinking water. Farms and ranches across the country could be unable to feed their livestock." He goes on to say, "As a proud pro-labor president, I am reluctant to override the ratification procedures and the views of those who voted against the agreement. But in this case, where the economic impact of a shutdown would hurt millions of other working people and families, I believe Congress must use its powers to adopt this deal." Senator Bernie Sanders, independent Vermont, says he intends to block the bill until there is a vote on adding paid sick leave, and he joins me now. Senator, first off, what powers does the Senate have, Congress have, in terms of this deal? Could you just put paid sick leave into the deal? Can you mandate paid sick leave as a matter of just a congressional law?
Yes. In this instance, as a result of long-standing legislation, Congress has the power to come up with an agreement in order to protect the American economy. The president is right. The economy would be hurt by a strike. I don't know that anybody wants to see a strike. But here is the bottom line. The bottom line is that the American people and workers throughout this country are profoundly disgusted by the kind of corporate greed that we are seeing. Everybody knows billionaires are getting richer, working people are struggling, corporate profits are at an all-time high, and they're raising prices to make goods unaffordable for ordinary Americans. That's the overall reality. And what you're seeing in the rail industry is that whole phenomena in spades. Chris, in the last 3 quarters of this year alone, the railroad industry made $21 billion in profits, provided $25 billion in stock buybacks and dividends, and they are paying their CEOs, in some cases, $14 million a year, $10 million a year, $20 million a year, whatever it may be. Meanwhile, for workers on the railroads, they have zero, underlined zero, guaranteed sick leave. In other words, somebody comes down with COVID tomorrow. They're going to get penalized because they don't come into work. Somebody is having a baby, can't go to their wife's side. So what we are fighting for, and I think we stand a reasonable chance to succeed, is to take the agreement that the President and Labor Secretary negotiated and add 7 days of paid sick leave, guaranteed sick leave to that. And what I'm hearing is not only is that going to be taken up in the House tomorrow, I'm hearing that there's strong, or at least some, Republican support for it in the Senate.
So there's a Dear Colleague letter out from Speaker Pelosi about the votes tomorrow, and they're saying there will be 2 votes. A vote on the deal, a vote on 7 days paid sick leave. So then I guess the question becomes, it comes to the Senate. I assume Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will probably have 2 votes. Can you get 10 Republicans? You got Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, basically all but singing the Internationale tongue-in-cheek because they're doing it in a kind of trolling fashion. I thought you would appreciate that, Senator. Yes. But can you get 10 votes from them on this?
Well, who knows? John Cornyn, who's, I guess, the deputy whip or the whip of the Republican Party, said in their caucus today that there was, I think the wording, significant support for the Sanders proposal. So I hope that we can. Look, you have a number of Republicans who claim to be supporters of the working class. Well, if you are a supporter of the working class, how are you going to vote against the proposal which provides guaranteed paid sick leave to workers who have none right now? So I am cautiously optimistic that we can get this done.
It does seem like a kind of call your bluff moment because there has been, you hear all this talk from Republicans, we're the blue collar party now. And,
right.
Right. Liberals in the coast, you don't understand people that, work real jobs like machinists and conductors. And so this seems like a, put your money where your mouth is moment.
That's right. Put up or shut up. If you can't vote for this, to give workers today who really have hard jobs, dangerous jobs, if you can't guarantee them paid sick leave, don't tell anybody that you stand with working families. So what you have is a situation where the rail industry is doing phenomenally well, record-breaking profits, but they have been totally obstinate in preventing the unions from getting paid sick time, and that's what we've got to deal with right now.
Yeah, I got to say, I've read into this a bit, trying to find what the justification is for the lack of sick days. I mean, there's all kinds of complicated industries like, yes, please.
Well, here's the story. The reason for it is in order to increase their profits, over the last 6 years, Chris, they've reduced their workforce by 30%. Yes. They don't have any workers. You make more money that way, but you put unbelievable pressure on your employees.
There's lots of vital things like emergency rooms, for example, that fire departments that are able to manage people calling in sick. It seems like we could figure this out for the railroads as well. Senator Bernie Sanders, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts on Bernie Sanders? Do you agree with him, disagree with him? Can Congress do more to help out railroad workers? Should there be more done? Let me know your thoughts on that. When it comes to stimulus update, direct one-time $1,500 bonus checks to arrive in just 2 weeks. This is going on in Arkansas. So the Fort Smith School District in Arkansas will receive a one-time bonus check of $1,500 in just 2 weeks. These are designed to provide relief to veteran teachers who worked during COVID-19 pandemic and were approved in May by the school board and are set to be delivered by December 15th. So if you live in this specific district in Arkansas, looks like they're using the stimulus money to give out $1,500 checks. Let me know, is this a good idea, bad idea? Should more checks go out to teachers? Should it go out to different groups of people? So that's going on in Arkansas, $1,500. And then inside stimulus check lottery, where 200,000 desperate Americans hope for $500 monthly cash. So this is going on in Cook County, Illinois. And so basically a lot of people are waiting. $3,250 Our 3,250 people are going to be randomly selected to get $500 per month for 2 years. And I guess they're still waiting on that for it to go through. Then there is actually 24 hours. So this says last 48 hours, but it's actually 24 hours before applications open for $1,000 one-off direct payments from $1.2 million pot. See if you're eligible. So this is going on in Boise, Idaho, and they recently announced that homeowners are eligible for a statewide circuit breaker property tax program, which will be able to apply for the Boise property tax rebate program from December 1st. So if you live in Boise, Idaho, looks like this program could give rebates up to $1,500 on a home and up to 1 acre of land for eligible residents. And so it looks like that's going on in Boise, Idaho. Applications will last until May 1st, 2023 to get up to $1,500 there. And as you notice, a lot of these stimulus programs or rebate programs, they're getting more specific, more defined, not as broad as they were before. The statewide stimulus check type of thing, we're starting to see that fizzle out, but we're seeing more specific targeted programs for stimulus. So I'll keep you updated on all of these and what's going on. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Oh, there you go. I didn't see that. Can I tell you something? What I want to do is go to the moon. I want to go to the moon. Never mind. What do you want? Tell me in the comments below and see what you want. If you want to do something, then accomplishment. Do what you want, because that after you get too old to not do what you want. Oh, bye. The moon. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. So all is good with us. Girls are all good. I'm just resting. Really not much going on with me in my life. I'm just kind of lying down basically all day and just healing. So it looks like December 23rd is when I may take my first step. Keep in mind, my injury happened October 17th, so that'll be 2 months of zero stepping. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Anyways, hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out any of my other videos on my other channels, click right up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.